Hello BookTube, my name is Adrian and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a little bit of a different type of video than I would normally do, just because I feel like this is something that we need to talk about, just something that isn't talked about much in BookTube, and I just feel like it would be a good discussion to have and just to see how other people feel about this. And that kind of comes down to why I'm not going to finish reading History Is All You Left Me by Adam Silvera. Now, let me just say that I really did enjoy what I did read of this book, and Adam Silvera's writing is great. The story was good. I liked the way it was written. There was nothing inherently wrong with this book that I just didn't like it. Didn't like the story. There was nothing wrong. There was nothing problematic with this book. I had no problems with this book and its content, but I couldn't continue reading this book anymore. And I feel like in this video we need to talk about why. So in a weekend reads video I talked about how this book was going to affect me on an emotional level because it is a familiar situation to me, and that I had a boy who I had dated in the past who passed away, and you know, that is very similar to the situation in this book. And I knew that was going to be something that I was going to deal with in this book and maybe have some struggles with, was getting past my emotional feelings to deal with this book. And it was not as bad as I thought it was. I got probably a quarter of the way through this book, maybe a little more than a quarter of the way through this book, before I decided I need to stop and just put it down and be done with it. Maybe one day I'll come back to it because it is a good story and it is a good writing style, and I'll probably read other stuff by Adam Silvera because I do really like the way he wrote this book. I like his writing style a lot. But this book was not entertaining for me. And I know it's not necessarily supposed to be entertaining, and I'm not saying all books need to be entertaining, but even books that are hard and books that make me sad or give me the whole spectrum of emotions, I enjoy reading on an entertainment kind of level. Kind of like you watch horror movies to scare yourself, or you watch rom-coms because you know they're going to be cheesy and you're going to want to laugh, or you watch The Notebook even if you know that it's going to make you cry at the end. You watch those movies because you want to feel those things and because it's going to be entertaining in some way. And I feel like that we don't too often talk about the fact that that's what reading is for a lot of us. We've gotten to a point, I feel like, where reading has to be about a goal. We have to read diverse books. We have to read, you know, the popular books. We have to read the classics. And while all of those things are good, we should read the popular books. We should read the classics. We should read diverse books. We should also not force ourselves to read books just because they're popular or classics or diverse. If it's not something that we're dedicated to, it's not something we're enjoying doing, we don't have to keep going. And for me with this book, I spent a lot of time where there would be a moment or scene in this book where the main character Griffin would be dealing with something, and all I could do was then compare that to a situation that was similar in my own life and in what actually happened in real life to me. And by doing that, while it didn't depress me, it didn't make me sad or anything like that, it did make this book less enjoyable, where I just didn't want to sit down and read and just only be thinking about my real life and not the life of these characters, because that's what I care about. Nowadays, like I've said, it seems like we have a focus on we need to be sure we're reading these types of books or these specific books or these specific authors, and we seem to here on BookTube have a tendency to get down on ourselves if we don't do those things. If we don't read a diverse book that month, we get down on ourselves that, oh, I didn't read a diverse book this month. Or we get down on ourselves that, oh, that one popular book that everybody loves, I just didn't like. Or, you know, there's a stigma around DNFing a book because you didn't like it or it wasn't your thing. And there shouldn't be. Most of us, and I'm not saying this is true for everyone, but most of us started reading because it was fun, because it was enjoyment. I've heard a bunch of times on BookTube that we shouldn't read for escapism. But that's how a lot of us started reading, was we didn't like the fact that we didn't have control over our own lives, and this was how we escaped that. we had a book that we could enjoy and it took us away from our own lives. The reason that we liked dystopians was not because they were stupid and cheesy, sometimes that was the case, but because it was something different. It wasn't real. That wasn't what was actually happening in today's society. It was different. It was something to escape to and then ultimately escape from when we broke the dystopian society. I don't know if this video is making any sense. But I think basically what it comes down to is there is a stigma that you should only be reading books to better society. But when it comes down to it, reading is a personal thing. Reading is something that you don't do for other people. Reading is something that you do for yourself. And if you're not enjoying it, if it's not entertaining, if it's not moving you the way you want it to, if it's taking you a month to get through a quarter of a book, maybe it's time to stop and just try something else. And so I may pick this up again one day. I may, or I may not. And that's okay. So I don't know if this video made any sense. It might be a nightmare to edit, but if you are seeing this video and you got this far in my rambling, thank you. I hope that we could have a discussion. If you disagree with me, that's fine. Let me know. Let me know your opinions. I'm interested to know if other people feel the way I do. But I'm not going to be ashamed of not finishing this book. Alright, well that's all I have for this video today. So thank you for watching. I hope you all have a lovely day, and I will see you soon. I post videos on Monday and Friday, so come back and check me out on those days. If you want to get notifications for when I post, click subscribe down below and I will pop up in your subscription feed. I hope you all have a lovely day. Goodbye.